Hamish,
Thank you.
tell me about the revamped PvP, dude.
Everyone, because
Please, Hamish.
we have next. Yeah, we're going to talk about the core gameplay overhaul in a bit more depth. So if you have any questions about that, make sure you stick around.
What the fuck? What core gameplay mechanic? What, dude, Hamish?
Thanks, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye.
Okay, this has something to do with PvP, I guess. They removed the PvP, dude. This might be interesting though, chat. RPG over. Okay, let's...
Firstly, there might be a bunch of people in chat who have never heard of any of us before. My name's Hamish. I'm one of the people that work here. I help with these streams and things. Technically, my title is content lead, but it's misleading.
If you never saw Hamish, you never watched the Division 2 fucking
Frederick,
streams.
Bruce,
Hamish
who are you?
is basically leading that.
Here
I'm one of the game designers working with Frederick on a lot of, I guess my major responsibility has been RPG and gear sort of balance, meta work.
Very good balance.
Along with
Bruce Kelly, thank you, great balance. Yes, yes, statistics. Yeah, nerf, yes, nerf, Bruce. Yes.
I do
Screenshot, I think.
think it's worth telling people that regardless of if you own the expansion or not,
very important.
this will be the way that you experience loot globally across the game.
Yeah. And one of the things that you can see here too is the sort of extent to which we've made adjustments and changes. You can see like the Badger Tough brand set has a much more strong sort of profile and player sort of call to action, which is you start with an increase in shotgun damage and then you go on from there, and you know this is encouraging you to play aggressively to get up close and personal, and you know it's going to boost your armor, but it's also going to give you armor on kill as well. And it's a blue core brand set. And then you've got Wyvernware, which is kind of, this is a few of our brands have gone through pretty significant, let's say,
Revamps.
identity, brand identity revamps. So Wyvernware is now a skill damage brand set. And there's been adjustments as well to Fenris, which is we're doubling down on what makes assault rifles effective, which is, you know, reload speed and stability. And we've sort of removed attributes from brand sets that felt perhaps unintuitive or counterintuitive to what you expect from that kind of a profile for the brand.
Cool.
And those things, specifically brands, they will strike through even if you stay at level 30. Like if you can't buy the expansion, or maybe you can't buy the expansion yet because it's not end of the month and you don't have the cash, or whatever reason why you want to hold off, you can still play the game at level 30. You'll still get these changes to gear. You'll still be able to see the bars and all of this stuff. And in fact, if you stay at level 30, all your gear score 500 gear will stay gear score 500, but the actual power level will be up to gear score 515, which means there are new things to get and new things to grind for, even if you can't jump into the expansion quite yet.
Nice.
I still do not understand why did they remove the fucking talents.
Talk about Recal a little bit.
We should definitely talk about Recal.
I would love to talk about Recal.
Recal. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to say Pokédex, so maybe you should.
Yeah. So I shouldn't either. Okay.
Yeah.
So recalibration, as mentioned in the excellent summary trailer at the beginning of the stream, the idea is if you found something, a good roll once, and extracted it from that piece of gear, then you can just use that to your heart's content. If you found a really good roll of crit chance for chest pieces, and you've extracted that at your recal bench from that piece, then you can use that roll and put it on any chest piece you find from then on. And because you can do it an infinite number of times,
really?
It's there, it sort of becomes this goal to find all of the best rolls in the game and fill
That's
it. Right?
interesting.
You can even see it in the presentation of the bench. It'll light up orange.
So it's not consumed.
You have everything perfectly collected in there. And
Searching for the
It's
god
also really
rolls.
satisfying when you see a piece of gear drop and then you
Okay.
see that, oh, this is something that I actually, this is better than anything I have stored,
yeah,
is very satisfying.
I don't know if we have that on that image we just saw, but there are little chevrons under the bars to tell you how it compares to what you have in your bench. So you can make a decision on the fly. No, it's not in this older build. That's unfortunate, but still, the point is, if you can imagine a little white chevron under each of these bars to tell you how they compare to what's in your recalibration bench, and that will tell you whether or not you should keep it for the bench or if you don't need it. I think that's it's going to make like quality of life for being out in the field and deciding what to keep, what to trash, etc. a lot better.
Cool. I like that. The other thing that people may notice on here, so the skill tier stuff, we talked about that on Staple Game when you were last on. For people who didn't get a chance to do that to watch that stream, there's 6 skill tiers.
6 skill tiers, 1 for each slot of gear that you can equip.
Yeah. So that'll put you up there. And then there's also a way, we showed a video about the overcharged turret, right? That's, the way I like to think of it is skill tier 7 that you can't reach any other way than through special
Yeah, it has
means.
this quality of, like, if we're referencing World of Warcraft, of bloodlust, like a temporary like super boost that you can get every once in a while that will make your skills do really impressive things.
Can you tell, I would be very stupid if I did not ask you about what you can tell us potentially about weapons.
About weapons.
Coming,
I don't think we brought
coming in Warlords.
we didn't bring a screenshot of it, but so the way weapons work is quite simple. You're going to have your 2 core stats, which you'll recognize from the live game. So you get damage. You'll see how well they've rolled in terms of damage on a bar, just like all the other stats that we're showing out. And then the type bonus, you know, crit chance for SMGs, etc. And then they have a third role, which can be a lot of the things that used to appear as like
Utility.
Talents, like extra mag size or RPM, or even crit damage or headshot damage. So you can get this third bonus roll on orange weapons. that can be
Allegro.
A whole spectrum of different random.
Allegro.
So you can find an SMG with
Increased
crit and
RPM.
crit damage on it, or an assault rifle with damage to health, which it already has at base, and then maybe headshot damage on it. Would be a good roll. And then it has its active talent, which is the big active talent that it used to have, the one with the little
Can you
hologram
extract
projection
those?
on the gun, etc.
Can you drop us any like hot nuggets about new weapons, exotic weapons? You got any?
We've seen a couple. Just before this segment, we saw.
So what should we?
Let's call that one out, Lady Death.
Yeah. So should I describe what it does?
Let's go for Lady Death.
So the SMG with the gnarly looking spiky brass knuckles on the vertical grip is quite spicy, and it synergizes exceptionally well with a certain gear set that I'm not going to spoil or reveal. But let's just say it fits very well within the sort of niche of the aggressive, flanking, high tempo, movement based.
It's run and gun.
It is the epitome of run and gun.
Yeah.
Pepegagan.
You gain stacks, and you gain more stacks when you're sprinting. And when you're shooting, you consume these stacks to amplify your damage. And that's an important new sort of verbiage or nomenclature for our players to understand now. Is one of the big significant things that we're doing with Warlords of New York is we're actually doing a large pass over all of our sort of weapon talents and gear in order to make the descriptive text and how we explain what they do very, very intuitive and clear. So whenever you see something that says amplifies your damage, it means that it's going to take the big sum total of all of your bonuses and it's going to multiply it.
Including crit and headshot and everything. It's going to take the final damage value and amplify it by that
So
talent.
it's very clear. So Lady Death, that SMG, has a talent called Breathe Free, and that's this, as you move, you're building stacks, and as you shoot, you consume stacks to amplify your damage quite significantly. And when you kill somebody, you get a run speed buff as well, which you can keep chaining and just go on a murder spree.
It's pretty rad.
It's pretty great.
It's pretty nice for PvE, bro.
Yeah, on kill.
You turn into a frenzy bard?
You go.
If you want to go there,
Sure.
yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited about
Give
that.
me your huddled masses.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to breathe free.
But on that note, like we want our exotics to do these big ticket things that are easy to understand, so they don't have the breakdown of like one big talent and then another and then a third holstered. So they have one big talent and then they have the
I think
rolls.
To sum it up, it's like I think we felt that we could do a lot more with less. Have a very
What the
impactful
fuck are you
talent
talking about?
without having a bunch of contingencies or
What the fuck are you guys talking about? What is this PR bullshit, man? They're simplifying the gear
things better.
to bring more casual players. They're lowering down the numbers of the
I
talents,
got a cool one out of
so it is
these.
easier to get the gear.
No, sure.
They're lowering down the number of talents and skills,
So
it is easier to balance. They're lowering down the fucking talents, so there is no meta.
Anyway,
Okay, moving on.
I think gear, yes. So just in summary, You're going to be able to climb, obviously, to level 40. At level 40, there's no gear score. That system is something we had in the world tiers, and that's not at level 40. So you're just going to be improving your gear by what you see. The bars that grow and get better rolls, etc. Get better rolls at higher difficulties, etc. There's going to be new exotics, new gear sets, new brands, all of that stuff. If you stay at level 30 for whatever reason, please don't
Because
jump
you
in
don't
with
get
us.
money
But like
for
if you
DLC.
do, you're still going to get a higher gear score that you can climb to and new stuff to loot. All of the new talents on gear are available at level 30 as well. So you're not missing out on that part of the meta. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
I want to go over to what I know Bruce wants to talk about. We glossed over it before, the shade levels stuff, and tried to brought it up, and we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
How would you explain it to someone who is like, I've got to level 40, there's this new thing. Why am I interested in
Without
shade
going
levels?
into too much depth, it's essentially a system that's going to be very familiar, I think, to most players who play action RPGs or looter shooters and whatnot. So think of Paragon levels or the badass rank system. It's a way for the player to essentially continue to progress their character with incremental, discrete
Will that work on
improvements,
PvP?
to their attributes in
That they
various
get to
ways.
pick.
I'm so
and
sure it won't.
essentially,
It's basically whatever you
Gear
knew
score
about the
factor
division
when I
to
am
forget
level
about.
40 can be considered trash.
When you're level 40, yeah, then
you're gonna be wanting to hunt the level 40 version.
Let's
Please,
talk about the.
man. People have been itching for Dark Zone information.
yeah, I mean, the Dark Zone is important to us. We didn't have an opportunity to have a new Dark Zone in the New York map, but the old Dark Zones have been revamped in terms of systems and in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. So we're trying to find our way back to some of what made the Division 1 Dark Zone experience great. And we've kind of deliberated along, and we kind of feel we want to streamline it, make it quite intuitive. We want to make sure that it's a place you only go to if you're ready to throw down. Like, it's not a place to go and harmlessly farm PvE activities. It's a place to only go if you're ready to encounter other players. Even if you're not going to fight them, you can play alongside them or whatever. That's
Fuck them
what
up!
that zone is for. There's enough PvE farming in the game, in the missions and the open world and
Exactly.
stuff like that.
We just talked about with Trick as well, with the global
Yeah.
difficulty, there seems to be even more reason to
Yeah.
where the PvE is. And I know the discussion we've had a lot with the community since a long time ago. People ask, a PvE Dark Zone. It's really not needed from the
Oi!
No, and it's some of the things we're doing, we're making sure that the stuff you get from the Dark Zone, be it gear, which is going to be good gear from the Dark Zone. or-
That's important to emphasize.
Yeah,
That
absolutely. It's gonna
actually,
be
the
good
Dark
gear.
Zone is one of the best places to go for
Yeah.
some of the best gear in the game.
Any exclusive gear? I'll put you on the spot.
There is.
There's exclusive
Yes.
gear.
I like
And one
it.
of them is
Spicy.
spicy.
So whether you go there to get gear or maybe, at some point you're done with your build or whatever, and you go there for currencies to buy it from the weekly Dark Zone vendor, the currency or Dark Zone XP, those things can only be gotten from things that have to do with interacting with other players. Kills, extractions, revives, so helping people, protecting extractions even if they're not yours,
Yeah.
killing rogues, being rogue, going manhunt, all of the things that have to do with other players.
Yeah.
Those are the things that give those things. That means you're not going to get any uncontaminated loot that you can just waltz out with. You got to extract. Currency, you can see what's on the gear as it drops now.
You see the stats.
So you can make decisions, and maybe you disassemble it, and then you get some Dark Zone currency, but that's also contaminated, also got to be extracted. And all of that means that we're going to draw people more to the extraction points, and we've also done some tweaking to the difficulty level, so it's not such a hard wall sometimes. And then one of the other big things.
There's a lot of under the hood stuff.
There's a lot of little under the hood
It's
stuff.
difficult to kind of, we're kind of glossing over.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more
weeks
about the
and
Dark
months of
Zone
work that have been put
Yeah.
into the Dark Zone.
We're going
by
to have a bit more
Gustav and
to talk
Fabian.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Gustav and Fabian for doing it. But I'm just going to go on a little bit more about it. So, also the occupied versus non-occupied Dark Zone, we
Yeah.
kind of revamped that concept. So, we don't want you to feel excluded from any of the dark zones and rotation because they're in a certain mode, and we don't want you to feel that you have to play a certain dark zone because it's in a certain mode. So now the dark zone rules are the same, and the dark zone scaling is sort of the same everywhere. So there's no occupied versus normal. We've revamped the rogue system to a simpler rogue system. What used to be the occupied dark zone is still different in that it's invaded that week, just like missions get invaded, so it's the Black Tusk that you're fighting, but otherwise it's the same dark zone. We're taking the best parts of both. So, the manhunt, kind of going high manhunt and stuff like that. We've taken that from the ODZ, applied it everywhere. We've gotten rid of like gray rogue. So like you're just rogue and then you're open season, or you're not rogue. So it's much simpler in that regard.
I was worried when you said we've simplified the rogue system. You were going to gloss over that. So I was going to ask you to please tell us what that actually means for players.
It can be controversial for people, but let's just dive in. So we want you to be able to, it is a push button to go rogue, but we want you to get that moment that you currently get in the ODZ where you can get the drop on someone. We don't want to lose that. So we revamped the push to go rogue to be very, very fast. So it's like a 300 ms press, I think, like that. Very fast button press. And it doesn't abort what you're doing. So if you're aiming, you can press it and you can just go rogue and you can start shooting. So that's really important because you can still like walk against someone, go rogue, and then start shooting them. But you still get that little split second of like announcement that nearby agent is going rogue to maybe react. So we think it's probably our best compromise between, the kind of unforgiving nature of going rogue and getting a slight heads up anyway.
But I mean, the 300 millisecond alert is quick, right?
That's quick, but it's PvP. You gotta have quick reactions.
Yeah. So like that whole voice line.
Speaking of timing, we'd be remiss if we didn't discuss changes to the talents and the timing on extractions and how long it takes for the helicopter to arrive. It's quite a butt clenchy experience now.
I love how seriously you say that. We've actually implemented some butt clenching.
We applied a non-denominal multiplier to the butt clench factor that is not insignificant. Yeah. So
it is after 10 p.m. here.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
way past my bedtime.
And we've actually, so instead of just 2 extraction points, however, we've added 1 more. So now there's 3 extractions in a zone, so there's a little bit more options. But when you fire that flare, you're going to sweat. You're going to feel it because it's a big signal that goes out. Everyone in the zone can see it. And because everything is so enraptured or revolves around these player-to-player interactions and how important extracting is, because it's the only way to actually get this valuable loot out, especially now considering the fact that some of that loot is quite powerful and rare and exotic.
Is it normalized?
It's dicey.
Yeah. And we also went in and...
What is the point of having the best gear if it's fucking normalized?
Your Dark Zone level and removed the things that kind of tried to avoid PvP interactions. So things that shortened extractions and stuff like that have been revamped some. So just to make sure that we maintain that balance where you can get to an extraction that you see going on. It now means something what Dark Zone rank you are, because the XP can only be gotten from things that have to do with other players, including reviving players and including protecting extraction zones, even if you don't have something on the rope.
You can be a guardian. You can just patrol the dark zone, protect other players, protect their extracts. I mean, they might look at you sideways, but get that shepherd rank up.
I love that.
But you also lose significant if you die to PvP. So it means something to maintain a high dark zone rank.
Cool. Someone was asking about the friendly player interactions. One of the things that we don't have in the notes, and we'll talk about it in the state of the game when we talk about the Dark Zone, but I really want to say it now. The VoIP by default is now on.
It's a zone about interacting with other players. Now it's back to Division 1 default, which is you speak, they hear you. You can opt out. You can turn it to team only, or you can turn it off.
Why would you opt out of?
No, but I mean, sometimes not everyone's as nice as you, Canadian Bruce.
I apologize to everyone I kill in the dark.
You're like, oh,
yeah, you do.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then
we're doing accent now. I don't know, man. Yeah, so
go for it.
We probably forget things right now about the Dark Zone that are important, but I think that what
Ammo
some-
crates.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
added ammo crates at every extraction site just so you can have somewhere to replenish. I think that's a lot of people want that. But to go back to the heart of it, we want the Dark Zone to be a place that you go to get good gear, sure, but you get
A
it
moderator
in dangerous
deleted
ways,
your
right?
message.
Or you are
What do you
dealing with
mean?
people who are there to get gear, and you get their gear. We want to get back to that heart of what it is to be in the Dark Zone.
I like it, and I can't wait for people to experience it and let us know what they think about it. Someone was asking about the Dark Zone in New York.
We haven't had the chance to make a new Dark Zone in the New York map, so unfortunately not. I want to mention though, a lot of PvP players out there forget this. Maybe the gear changes, the changes we've been talking about and we've been showing, like the amount of impact that and the complete rebalance of the skills with the skill tier refactoring. That affects how PvP plays in the short term. What it feels like to one-on-one someone or 1v4 someone or whatever, those things have significantly changed, and we've really spent a lot of time thinking about talents, thinking about skill balance, thinking about these things and how that feels in the Dark Zone.
I know, like, let's be real, I know a lot of PvP players out there have felt like we haven't been talking about these
Yeah.
things. I totally hear you.
There is no occupied Dark Zone anymore, dude. There is no more occupied Dark Zone. They said they are bringing the Division 1 style of the Dark Zones, which means there is no more hardcore Dark Zone where you're permanently rogue. You need to go rogue. And at the moment when he said he feels sorry for the people that felt excluded because they couldn't farm occupied Dark Zone, I was thinking they're talking about hardcore PvP players. That he's feeling sorry for making the hardcore PvP players excluded. But no, he was talking about the normalized motherfuckers. People that are playing the normalized Dark Zone. Did they feel excluded because there is a targeted fucking item that is dropping in the occupied Dark Zone? And that is the reason why they removed normalized and occupied Dark Zone, and it is just simple Dark Zone now. And he did mention about scaling, which means normalization is in the game, which means they fucking killed occupied Dark Zone completely, and normalization stays. In the other words, you're playing the loot hoarding game where loot hoarding god rolls doesn't even fucking matter because your god rolls are gonna be normalized anyways. Nice concept. Nice concept, dude. I really fucking hope I missed something out. I really fucking hope. They also said that Dark Zone is one of the best farming zones. One of the best farming zones. They did say that are gonna lose XP. In the occupied Dark Zone, you were losing half of the XP, half of the level on that. They nerfed it on 10%. Before you were losing 50%, and then after the buff, you were losing 10% XP. So this doesn't mean shit to me. Default wipe is on cringy hot mic situations. They're looking closely to the PvP. Okay, dude. We'll see. I really hope I'm wrong. I really fucking hope I'm wrong, but